Since the time of Gilgamesh, around 4000 BC, Uruk became the central city of the Sumerian region. By 3000 BC, the heyday of what we know as Sumerian civilization began in earnest. Ironically, this heyday commenced with a deadly crisis rather than abundance. In Mesopotamia, temperatures soared and precipitation declined, causing the water levels of the two rivers to drop. Simultaneously, wetlands and streams, the lifelines of agriculture, dried up. In short, the primary reason the Sumerians settled here vanished. However, humans, having already embarked on the path of farming and settlement, could not easily abandon their millennia-old land as they did with hunting. They had to find a solution on the spot. The solution they devised involved building reservoirs in their own villages to store and distribute water, thereby enabling irrigation of farmland. However, due to the limitations of these small-scale efforts, several villages joined together to create large canals. Through these canals, they earnestly began developing artificial agriculture that did not rely solely on natural water sources. Thus, Sumer became the first civilization to overcome natural disasters through cooperation. Building these large-scale projects was not as easy as it sounds. Mobilizing a large number of workers towards a single goal, and equitably distributing water through the canals without discord presented challenges. Consequently, administrative staff, centered on kings and ambassadors, began to emerge. This gave rise to a managerial elite, who made a living without direct involvement in production. Structured Sumerian cities began to experience rapid technological advancements due to population concentration and urban networks. They could plow the land easily using cattle and hoes. With the expansion of arable land and the development of agricultural equipment, yields increased. The invention of the wheel facilitated the transportation of surplus crops, enabling trade with other cities. Sailboats, invented to navigate far-off places, facilitated the opening of sea routes, leading to the mass production and trade of pottery, as well as the importation of scarce resources like trees and ore, especially during the Bronze Age with the influx of copper and tin. Since the urbanization of Uruk began, more than 80% of the Sumerian region became urbanized between 3000 and 2500 BCE. This diversification led to hundreds of thousands of occupations, not just farming, and surpassed simple kinship groups, evolving into a community where survival depended on strangers. During this time, the largest city, Uruk, boasted a population of 50,000. However, while urban networks stabilized within cities, tensions began to arise outside them. The invention of the sword, made possible by bronze, led to the development of advanced killing devices and an arms race. With spinning wheels and carts adapted for military purposes, cities began fortifying themselves with walls, and conquest became a means of securing resources. War provided an opportunity to test courage and leadership, leading to the rise of prominent individuals who eventually became kings of hereditary dynasties. As small cities merged into larger ones, prisoner-of-war systems emerged, fostering a slave economy that utilized slaves as labor. In summary, cities became centers for the elaboration of institutions and technologies, through joint preparation for natural disasters and warfare. However, while these institutions and technologies enabled effective rule by a minority elite, they did not alleviate forced labor, war mobilization, and economic deprivation among the governed class. Urban life was not equitable for all. Nevertheless, a small number of elites dominated the majority with the support of various ideologies, with religion being the most prominent among them.